Welcome back to another episode of my channel. I'm very excited to share another video with you. This time I'm gonna go back actually and redo the topic that I initially started with. It's about self-reflection, healthy self-critique, and critique in general. Why am I doing the same topic again? I think I started off very inexperienced, being in front of the camera for the first time between the lights, so it was a little bit intimidating. And I have to say, after watching my first episodes, I became aware that I am not very comfortable, and I'm getting the camera freeze a lot. And what I noticed, I am not able to communicate a lot of things that I actually have in my mind that I wanted to share with you. So I decided to do redo of the episodes. Hopefully this time I will get it out better and more interesting and with more enthusiasm. Let me first start sharing some of the comments that I have received, because it's been a while since I shared those with you. There's this comment. After watching your video, I bought 20 pounds of onions from a shady onion farm. Started eating them, but I got sick halfway through. What do you say about that, Bambi? Uh, um, I love that nickname. And did you actually eat the whole onion, or did you just eat the peeled side? Because they peel onion halfway through for you for your convenience. That's the side you're supposed to eat, and you don't eat the other side. Duh. And I think I have another comment. Your breath stinks, Mr. Colgate. It doesn't. So let me just ignore this one and move on. Self-reflection. I'm gonna be using my sheets because apparently I'm losing my train of thought. So self-reflection, self-critique, healthy self-critique, and criticism in general. I think this is extremely important for all of us to be able to sometimes pause from our super busy lives and sit down with ourselves and just reflect on what we have been doing, how we have been going through life, how we interact with the outside world, how we interact with the family. Are we doing things that we want to do? And if we're doing them, are they actually good for us and for people around us? So doing that is extremely important, because getting caught up in life is something that we've been all engaged in, and that's not a good and healthy direction, because it pushes us into a certain bubbles that we are not aware of. It starts, and then we kind of lose track of who we are, what are we doing, our goals, and everything takes over. And before we wake up, years later, we may be discovering ourselves. Oh wow, that's insane. I've been doing this. I've been this person. So pausing once in a while and doing that reflection is great. Now, what is a healthy self-critique? I think this is something that helps us become a better person. Self-improvement is something that I truly believe in, and I think as a man, is an absolute must. We can't just go on with our lives thinking that, I'm great. Everything I do is just amazing, fantastic. If people don't see us this way, screw them. That's not the way to go. That's not a man's way. Keeping your mind open to the fact that we are all human. We all make mistakes, and admitting to our mistakes, it takes actually guts. It's a It's a very healthy and manly thing to do, and absolutely required to be a normal person. If you believe that you've been going through your life perfectly, not making any mistakes, well, you've been living in a bubble, because there's no such person. Everyone makes mistakes. But the thing is, do you pause? Do you listen to yourself? Do you allow others to come and tell you about it? And now, once you come with those terms that there's a mistake, what do you do with it? Do you ignore it, or you just pretend, yeah, yeah, they live in a different universe because they must be wrong? No, we all make mistakes, and a healthy way and an absolute and manly way is to listen, think before react, and then when you react, make the best of it. Do some improvements. So let's say if we are getting into workouts, yeah, we want to be strong, healthy, right, and do workouts. What if we start working out like crazy and we don't do proper warm-ups, stretches, and then we go all the way in, pushing it, and then we go into stages where we constantly pull our muscles, injure our muscles, maybe tear our muscles. And someone will say, you know what? I have watched you doing this, and you're doing this wrong. Now, here's a prime example. What do? You're like, oh no, I know best. No, this is the time when you actually open your mind that, yeah, it's great that you're working out. It's a great approach to change your life, be healthy, but you don't know the best way or healthy way, a good way. And that can be used in any aspect of your life, from doing activities, from fixing things, from raising your children, from interacting with your spouse or with your friends. Keep your mind open. Why do I believe in self-improvement? Because in this busy world where we are bombarded constantly with too much noise, if you don't focus on a healthy lifestyle, you're going to lose a track and start living in a bubble. And many people have fallen into those bubbles, traps, or rabbit holes where, darkness comes in and takes over our mind, our way of thinking, and we are just getting deeper and deeper into emptiness. So self-improvement is not only a great thing for ourselves, but it's also great for people that we live with, who are our friends. Because if we become better, I mean, what else can I say? Being a better person, being a better parent, being a better father, being that role model father, that's absolutely amazing gift that you can show and give to your children. Your kids want to look up to you as a person that actually proves to them that doing good things, working on them hard, making great effort is absolutely essential. But if you set a grown example, if you show them that, hey, I'm the best, I do everything right, I don't reflect, they will become the same people, closed-minded and selfish. What do you want? Who do you want to raise? How do you want to be seen? So, what do we do about this? Self-reflection and self-critique and critique in general from others. I think there are two ways. The way I personally started it, I started working on my physical improvement. I was not happy with the way my life was going. So at some point, maybe 10 years ago, a little bit more, I discovered mountain biking, and that became the foundation of my change. I started going to a forest, which was way too difficult for me, but I insisted on going, and it took me many years to be able to ride freely throughout the forest, about 4 years. But that created that physical challenge, that Mount Everest that I set out to challenge myself with was the foundation, because I needed to break myself physically. I needed to feel that I'm going there, but I can't do anything. I can't ride. I keep falling. It's too hard. I needed to push myself. And it took many years to be able to finally start enjoying, stop falling, and be able to become an average biker, just an average biker. And that's the foundation of wow, all those things started that were messing up with my mind. They were telling me, oh, you have to focus on this, you have to work on this, but this is not working. They started disappearing because I noticed there's a different point. At that point, had to change, but I couldn't until I started physically breaking myself in. So once I improved myself physically, and that can be done any other way, walking, running, swimming, just going outside, because if you're stuck in a small environment, that takes a negative toll on your mind, on your perspective, on your behavior, on your vision, on your ability to open up to something good, fresh, different, and positive. So get out there every single day, change your diet, eat good things, eat healthy things. Just don't become obsessed with 40, 60 grams of protein in every bar. I'm not talking about that. So become that person physically. I think the emotional change, that is the second part, needs a foundation in physical change, because we need the strength to be able to open up ourselves to self-criticism and critique in general from others. We have to become stronger. But because the emotional change, that work that is required for that emotional change needs strength, and that strength comes from physical change first. That's my personal belief. A lot of people are very resistant and like think, oh well, I'm great, I'm good. Well, this is my environment. Don't step in. I'm doing good. Well, hopefully you found the same person that thinks the same way, but I don't think you're gonna find many other people who share your point of view about everything. Or maybe you don't have them. Or maybe if you actually ask questions, how people that get in touch with you, how they actually feel about you. If you listen to them, maybe you will discover that they don't see you the way you see yourself. So that's an indication that maybe a change is needed. And if you are growing a family and you're setting that example to your kids, maybe this is not the best way. So start working on building the strength, the foundation that will give you ability to change mentally, emotionally, to open up to the fact that self-reflection is absolutely healthy and positive thing and required for us to go through life in a normal way. Self-critique and critique from others, if it's constructive, it is a good thing. I mean, we live in a world where we tell our kids, oh, you're great the way you are, you don't have to change, you are a beautiful individual. I don't buy into it. I think we are great when we do great things. Just being there is not good enough to be giving ourselves medals, because what do we do? Where do we go from here? Do we go to the point where we get out of the bed at 10 a.m. and like, well, I got a medal for getting out of the bed at 10 because it could have been noon? No, start working on yourself. Start doing something, so you can actually deserve the term that you are a good, great person because you are doing something good, great, not just because you exist. There are 8 billion of us or 9 billion of us in the world, and if we all approach life this way, where are we going? We're gonna be rewarding ourselves for doing nothing and totally lose touch with reality, build our own bubbles of greatness on the nothing. Uh, I don't think personally we need the medals, but if we, encouragement, good words of appreciation, acknowledgement, that's absolutely great and necessary. But do something, do the work. Show your kids that when you start something, you don't abandon, so their motivation stays on. Be a great example provider to them. Provide example for yourself. Impress yourself. Set a bar of achieving something and work at it. Don't give up. Why do we need all that? That is so necessary because once we achieve that ability to reflect, pause, reflect, notice, listen, and change and work on it, on ourselves, we will discover that going through different stages of our life, we can go much easier, much healthier, with better results. Because if we don't do that initial work, we're not going to be able to improve or change anything. And we're going to be going into disappointments, we're going to be disappointing people, and just living in that bubble. Change starts inside. You can't go into another person and change it because that person needs to do the work. I believe it starts with physical change to build the foundation and strength, and then you can start changing emotionally, opening up, and being able to take that thought, guilt, or understand, come to terms that, yeah, I've made a mistake. Well, my fault. Okay, I will change it. I will improve it. I will make it better. It's not bad. Actually, if you want to go into medals, which I don't really buy into, but that's a scenario for a medal. Yeah, or whatever, or acknowledgement of achievement. But otherwise, if we don't start working on ourselves, we can't change anything. And just becoming that stubborn, closed person who lives in a bubble and thinking, yeah, I do the best, it's not a good way. You may think it's good for you, but if you raise children and you raise them in your own bubble, you're not a good parent. You're not a good parent because we live in a society, we live on this planet, and if you make everything your own bubble, where are we going with this? With 8 billion of us, 8 billion bubbles. How do we ever come into any discussion, any kind of logical, educational, and fruitful conversation about anything if we all come with our own bubble, me, myself, and I, and stay away? So, self-improvement, self-reflection, healthy critique, constructive criticism, it's all good things. Do the work to make the foundation in yourself and work on it. It takes a while. But I would not go back to the person I was, and I am extremely happy with the direction of my life. Thanks for tuning in.